Earlier this week, I was feeling kind of burnt out. I'm still feeling pretty burnt out, but I decided to get out of the studio and go check out some artwork. And I got really lucky. I went down to Bergamot Station, which is pretty close to my house, and the first gallery I walked into, uh, I saw some work that I really enjoyed. So I thought I'd share that with you now. Before I show you the work, let me just tell you some basics about uh, what about the materials, about the form of the work. If we're breaking this into form and content, the paintings are mixed media. They're collage. They have bits of paper, painted paper, fabric, glued down to birch ply panels, cradled panels, and then quite a bit of paint applied impasto and also some thinner layers. So truly mixed media. They're fairly small easel-sized paintings, and that's pretty much it for materials. Let's take a look at the work. So the gallery that I walked into was Krull Gallery at Bergamot Station, and the artist is Carol S. And I have not seen her work previously, and I didn't read any kind of artist statement or press release when I was at the gallery, so I can't speak to any of the ideas behind her work. All that I am saying, I have no prior information or any kind of intelligence to offer about any ideas or contemporary art context that she might be relating to. Really, I'll be honest with you. I walked into this gallery, and there was just a really strong sense of personality to the work. I felt like this was somebody that I would enjoy hanging out with. Um, and more than anything else about the work, about this show, um, I really just enjoyed that feeling that the work was approachable, and it really spoke of a personality and her identity behind the work that was very comfortable and just felt friendly, felt inviting. So with wood grain, it's kind of a red flag for me a lot of times. I think it's too easy to use wood grain in kind of cheesy ways. But in this case, the beauty and like natural beauty and elegance of the pattern created by wood grain was a really nice contrast to the shapes, um, and kind of over the top patterns of the fabric. So there's this nice kind of tension between the natural pattern of the wood grain and then these really loud, saturated patterns on the fabric. It's also a nice contrast because the shapes are kind of clunky and geometric, and having that contrast with the with the really soft shapes and pattern again of the wood grain is creates a nice point of contrast. So really enjoyed how she incorporated the wood grain. I really enjoyed how much negative space she allowed there to be. It really allowed these really loud patterns and shapes and bits of collage, allowed them to have breathing room, and I think was added to this sense of simplicity and accessibility of the images. There's some recognizable imagery in there. There's telephone wires and what looks like uh, some kind of architecture, houses from the outside. Some are obviously houses seen from like a street view. Some of them, like this one, almost take on the appearance of a floor plan, like a floor plan for a house. Um, and it's simultaneously a floor plan and also like looking at a house from the street with like a river in the background or something. So, and then a lot of them are completely abstract. So there is a nice range. There's a sense of narrative in there, a sense of story, but really the overwhelming feeling here there's just a sense of playfulness about color, about shape, um, and then the way the imagery is used is again at the service of this kind of feeling of a personality, of an identity behind them. Some of them are more successful than others. I think the ones that have more negative space, have more empty wood grain area, I think that they tend to be stronger. The ones that are more dense, like this one on the left, I don't think are as interesting or as strong visually. And the colors are really nice. The patterns that she uses are fun and quirky and nostalgic, and there's just a really there's a lot of thought, obviously, that goes into uh, which patterns to use, not just for their color and their formal qualities, but for this again, this kind of personality that they evoke. There's This whole wall was covered in a collage of different bits of paper. Looks like drawings, like kind of comic drawings and poems and little bits of paper with random text on it. Honestly, it looked like it had to do with the rest of the work, but I just was not interested in getting into it. It wasn't my cup of tea that day. Just didn't grab me as much as the paintings did. So I didn't really spend much time with that, and can't tell you really how that relates or is relevant to the rest of the show. This piece and this other piece that I showed you earlier are probably my two favorite. I think I like the narrative. I like the house. I like the quirkiness and personality that are in these two pieces in particular. I also like the sense of playfulness with the line and the paint and the different patterns that are being used. In some of them, I feel like the shapes that are cut out of the fabric tend to be a little bit too uniform in size and general shape. In this one and the other one, I felt like there was just more variety in the size and shape of the collage elements, and also the distribution. Just felt like there was more for me to enjoy and get involved in. So Carol S. at Craig Krull Gallery at Bergamot Station. I don't know the dates of the show. Check out Craig Krull website if you want to know the dates. As always, it's best if you can see this work in person. I really enjoyed it. Materially, it's just really fun to look at. The little bits of collage. I love collage, and there's just a tremendous amount of personality. Really comfortable and inviting images to spend time with. So, go check them out, and that's it.